joining us, along with Trey Galloway and head coach Mike Woodson. Guys, welcome. Great to have you here. Coach, there's so much excitement around this team. We showed the preseason media poll. Indiana was picked second coming into this year. How important is this year for Indiana basketball and getting it to where you want it to be?
No, it's very important because we had to start all over again this summer. I lost 3 players to the portal, 2 seniors that graduated, and then we lost the big fella Ware to the Miami Heat as the 15th player picked in the draft. So we had to go back out and regroup, build our roster, that's the new wave right now.
Yes.
in college basketball, and it's going to be that way for years to come until they decide if they're going to change it. But I don't see that coming anytime soon. So the fact that we had to go out and build it, we went back west and got guys like Myles Rice and Kanan Carlisle from Stanford, and we got the big fella Ballo from Arizona. And then we were able to bring Luke Goody back home and got a nice freshman in Bryson Tucker. So, I mean, I'm pleased with where we are. You know, we got a lot of returning guys. Just got to put it all together and see where it leads us.
Trey, you've been around for a long time. You know the expectations surrounding Indiana. What do you think this year means to Indiana basketball?
It means everything. Obviously, last year was not the turnout we wanted to be. But like Coach said, we re-upped and got the guys we needed to be successful. And I think it starts with now and just preparing every day, getting ready for the season, and being ready to go.
I want to ask you, I know you had some off-season surgery. Tell me a little bit about your recovery, where you are in that process.
Yeah, it's been a long journey. I had surgery after the season and stuff, so just rehabbing and getting back to myself has been important to me. And obviously we have great trainers and a great staff around that. So just taking it day by day and just helping my teammates in the best way possible. But I feel good, and I'll be ready to go.
Myles, speaking of long journeys, Big Ten fans might not be aware of yours, but I mean, you went through something that very few young people have to deal with early on in their lives, and that was a battle with lymphoma a couple of years ago. Tell people who don't know the story kind of how that transpired, what happened when you were diagnosed, and what the process of getting back on the basketball court was like.
Yeah, so basically after my freshman year where I redshirted, I had a big summer leading into that season. A lot of workouts. I was doing really well, putting my position to start and be a focal point of the team. And then my neck was swollen on the left side. Me and my dad really didn't pay too much attention to it at first. We thought it would kind of just go away. But then we got a biopsy done once I went back to school. And ultimately I got diagnosed on September 12th that I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. And from there on out, it was just a battle of, I had 6.5 months of chemotherapy, and just having my mom and my dad by my side, getting me through everything, was everything that I could ask for. But, you know, it kind of puts you in a headspace of being kind of dark at times. But like I said, my mom and dad, they got me through everything, and ultimately I was able to come out on the other end of it, and now I'm here.
How did going through that change you?
I think it changed me for the better, just knowing that anything that I go through now won't really compare to it, and just having that determination factor that I can get through anything, and bringing that not only just off the court but on the court as well, and just knowing that no matter what situation that we're in on the court, whether it's a tight game at the end of the game or if we're just handling adversity, no matter what, that I know not only myself but I can get my teammates and everybody on the same page to get us through.
It's amazing to me you didn't just get back on the court, but Pac-12 Freshman of the Year last year. What did it mean to be back out there after going through that?
It just means a lot. You know, all the hard work that you put in, you know, gets recognized. And that wouldn't happen without team success, though. So everything that I got on the individual side came after we had team success. And that's the same thing that we try to preach here at Indiana, like put the team first, make sure that we're all putting each other first, and everything else will come on the back end.
Tell me a bit about Myles as a player.
He's been a great addition. You know, we lacked a lot of speed in the backcourt. The last few years, Xavier Johnson was probably the only guy that we had blistering speed. But I think adding Myles and Kanan, even Tucker, you know, Gallo could always get up and down the court and get downhill when we needed it. But we got a few guys now that can make that happen, and it changes the whole dynamics of our ball club.
Yeah, it's interesting because it does feel like you really made a concerted effort to get better in the backcourt, and part of that is you've got some really good guys up front already. But tell me about the way in which you have overhauled that backcourt and kind of how you see, not necessarily, this guy's going to get 22 minutes, this guy's going to get 18, but how you see the rotation working and what those combinations might look like.
Don't know the rotations yet, but what prompted me to get better in the backcourt was the injuries from last season and putting Gabe Cupps in a tough position.
Yeah.
And, 2 years ago we had the same problems, but we got by with Jalen Safino, who really became an outstanding player for us. But I didn't want to get caught like that again. I don't know who's going to start. I don't know who's going to play all the minutes, but I know that we're deep enough to overcome injuries if it happens. And that was the whole beauty about putting this team together. But we just got to continue to work as a unit and keep pushing these guys in the right direction and see where it leads us.
How have you seen the backcourt change, Trey?
That's been great. Like we said, just the added depth that we have and just the quickness and the speed. And Coach wants to play at a fast pace, and we got the guys to do that this year. And just being able to space the floor, guys that can shoot it and just get up and down. That's one thing we've been preaching, is just being in great shape and be able to get up and down. So I think it's been great.
How about up front? What does Omar Ballo bring to your guys' team?
A lot. I mean, he's won at the highest level. He's won Pac-12 championships and has made deep tournament runs. And so it's great to have him just be an older veteran guy, and obviously he takes up a lot of space and can do a lot of things for us in a positive way. So I'm very excited to have him be a part of our team.
Myles, what can you tell us about him, having gone up against him firsthand?
I'm just happy he's on our team, man. I'm telling you. I mean, he sets screens like no other. He's relentless on the glass. Like I was saying earlier in one of the other interviews, like, he's just a great guy too. Like, he goes out there, he wants to get better. He's always trying to learn. And like a point guard and a big man combo, like, the relationship is different. Like, I have to be able to trust that he's going to set the screen and roll properly, and he has to trust on me that I can get him the ball in areas to where he can, be his greatest. So we're always in constant communication at practice, trying to learn one another. But like I said, going against him last year, to have him on my team, I'd rather be on this side. I'm not going to lie.
And what about teaming up with Carlisle, another guy that you played against in the Pac-12?
Yeah, well, me and Carlisle have kind of been knowing each other since we were probably young in the city of Atlanta. But playing against him last year, having those good battles, to, like I say, having him on my team now, I love having him on my team rather than going against him. Such a dynamic player, defensive end, he's a pest. I don't think he gets enough credit for that, and he's always he's like a savant, basically. He always wants to keep learning. He always wants to do the next thing that is going to help us get to the next level. So that's one of the things that I really, truly love about Kane, and I'm just happy that he's on my team.
Well, one of the things that's so interesting in this day and age, Coach, is I do feel like there's so much focus on the portal and talking about the guys who come in, and probably with good reason, because a lot of those guys are the players who are going to make an impact. With freshmen, it's a little bit harder, but you got a really good freshman in Bryson Tucker. So give us a little insight into him and what makes him so great and what his role can be here early on for you.
Well, I stumbled into Bryson. I saw Bryson 2 years ago at IMG, and I walked away from that practice saying that this young man has a chance probably to play at the next level if everything goes according to plan for him. And then when we lost out on Lem McNeely, who had committed to us and decided to leave, he fell right into our lap. His dad called, and Kenyon Hunter and I were able to go to D.C. area and sit with his dad and mom and Bryson, and one thing led to another, and we got him on campus, and he decided to come, man. And he's been, the kid is versatile. He's 6'7", 6'7", that can do a lot of things. He handles the basketball, he can pass it, he can score the ball, and he tries to defend. So he's just got to learn the college game, the college ways, It's different in high school, there's a major jump there.
What is the balancing act? There's literally a player in this league this year is in his 8th year of college. So what's kind of the balancing act between freshmen and transfers and how you fit a team together? Do you recruit differently now than you would have in the same position 3 years ago?
I'm going to still recruit high school players, There's no doubt about that. But it all depends. No one ever knows from year to year based on who stays and who leaves. You know, you're going to probably always have a player that's disgruntled because he wants to play more minutes, and I get it. You know, but you can't play everybody, and we've loaded up this year, and guys are just going to have to be patient. And when I always tell them, when called upon, you got to step up and do what's asked of you, or I got to go somewhere else and get it. So, I mean, and that's the beauty about building a team, and I think these guys understand it.
Mike Woodson, great to visit with you as always.
you,
Trey
man.
Galloway, Myles Rice, great to see all three of you, and best of luck this year.
Thank you
so much.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.